resentment building up in my heart over my lover. Thinking that my weary smile was who I was, my color. Lost the love of my life because I cried. Should have held back tears from my tired eyes, kept it inside. We can't handle the strain, not knowing what to say. When another's in pain, we got to turn away. I guess our own fears are more than we were born to bear. Find yourself standing there with an empty stare.
Hi, and welcome to my Metaphysical YouTube channel with Christina, Jimenez, Nelson. I'm an international psychic medium. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Jill Lynch, who is with us, and she is an international psychic medium as well. And Jill, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Christina. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I actually have the opportunity to get to work with you every Wednesday on our blog talk radio show, Intuitive Connections, and we have a fabulous show, and you are amazing, and I just wanted to share some of your talents with my viewers out here, some of your abilities and some of the phenomenal things that you do. It's so interesting, and the hobbies you have. But first we're going to get started with how you became a psychic medium, and how did all that come about, Jill, if you can just kind of let us all know how that happened.
Well, you know, when I was about 3 years old, I did talk to my, brought up to my mom and my grandmother's attention that I saw my mom be born in the house that she was living. And they, there was no way I could have had that information, and it always stuck with me. So it just kind of like, as I kind of grew older, and in school, I would see things, a lot of things, and then I think it was squashed, and just kind of like I had a vivid imagination, and then high school kind of got to be a little intense for me, just being around a lot of people, and just kind of didn't feel like I fit in, because I always saw things and felt things and heard things, and I suppressed it a lot. And then about 3 years ago, I'd say I just started accepting who I was and the gift. And last year I got a little bit stuck with my life and didn't know, and that's how I found Leanne, your cousin. Went to her, and it kind of opened me up a lot more. And it just kind of all started rolling from there.
So you found your abilities, and you found that you weren't actually an intuitive psychic, and learned how to use those abilities and exercise them and study.
Correct.
Because I know you study a lot.
Right.
You read a lot of books, you take classes. I know you're going to take a class with Lisa Williams soon.
Right.
Which is a phenomenal class because I've taken it. And,
yes.
So your career as a psychic medium has really taken off. And you amaze me on our radio show. You're just spot on. And there's no stopping you. Spirit really, really works through you. And it's great. And it's such a wonderful thing. And one of the things I also want to talk about that I find so interesting, and I think our audience will too, is that one of your hobbies is that you're like a freelance photographer, and you take pictures and of like spirits and orbs and things like that come out in your pictures. And I've seen a lot of your pictures, and they're amazing, the spirit that you capture. If you go to Jill's website, would you say your website so they can look at your pictures?
www.soul-full1.webs.com.
And also, we'll upload that on the video as well. So if anybody wants to go look at it, because you have a massive amount of pictures in there of all the metaphysical things and the spirits and the orbs, and it's amazing. And actually, I'm going to have some on, if you haven't already. They're in the beginning of the credits of this show, so you can go back and look at some of those pictures, because they are amazing. What made you decide to kind of start doing this with the pictures?
I can see or feel or sense, so I just start taking pictures, and that's kind of how it just kind of, comes, and I just feel like it's always around us, the energy, and really it's there just, and I mean, I don't have a big camera or anything like that, but it's like, you just take the pictures, and it's just insanely amazing what you can capture.
Exactly.
Everywhere,
I bet you probably take 500 pictures before you get, a few of those with the spirit and the orbs. Or is it every time you take a picture just about?
Pretty much every time I can take a picture, or I take a picture. I always see the stuff, the things in them. So it's, I mean, in all of my pictures, I basically can see, point out, look, and sometimes I put it on the computer and get it, but it's just amazing that there is something in almost every picture.
It is.
I mean, it's I don't know. I'm just so intrigued by it.
Yeah. You know, and there's no explaining it. So anybody that looks at these pictures and they still deny that we have energies and spirit out there, you know, how could you deny that? By just looking at your pictures and that other pictures I've seen, it's they're there. I mean, some of your pictures even have like the shape of a spirit or a human form.
Right.
You know, they come in smoky form, they come in orbs, and you can't explain those. And I've heard some of the greatest photographers on some videos say, you know, we can't explain these orbs. The camera lens was clean, there's nothing wrong with the film. So really, Jill, it's spirit. Right, it is spirit, and you have to trust it and believe it, because I'm not out there manipulating anything. I mean, I don't, you know, I'm the least tech-savvy person you'll ever meet. I don't even care about the technical world. I just am really involved in, like, you know, what's around us, and just sensing, feeling, and hearing, and, you know. And you are very sensitive to your energies and spirit around you, and I know that by working with you. Just, you know, before we wrap this up, one of the things I want to ask you is, what is it that you get out of what you do? What drives you to be a psychic medium? That's what I'm interested in. Just the ability to trust myself and give people messages that, you know, that will change their life in some way. I mean, it's always something inspiring, motivational, whatever. It's just going to set them up to be their phenomenal self. Exactly. Perfect. It's so gratifying what we do, because when we bring crossed over loved ones or spirit over for a message to the people that we're reading, and we can give them that satisfaction and that knowing that everything's okay, and that they're loved, they leave us with such a high and feeling so much better about themselves. So, you know, I every day am blessed by spirit and God, and I know you are too. Yes. And how lucky are we to be able to do this? It's amazing. Very lucky. It really is. And it's such a pleasure that I get to know you, Jill, and work with you on Wednesdays on our Blog Talk radio show, Intuitive Connections. We have so much fun. And our show, you know, it's amazing. And our show is on every Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Just look us up, Blog Talk Radio / Intuitive Connections. It's 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're in California. And please come watch or listen to the show, because you would be amazed. And Jill is just a phenomenal psychic, international psychic medium. And again, Jill, I want to thank you so much for this interview, and I will see you soon, okay? Thank you so much, Christina. You're very welcome. And bye-bye, everybody.
Resentment building up in my heart over my lover, thinking that my weary smile was who I was, my color. Lost the love of my life because I cried. Should have held back tears from my tired eyes, kept it inside. We can't handle the strain, not knowing what to say. When another's in pain, we got to turn away. I guess our own fears are more than we were born to bear. Find yourself standing there with an empty stare.